Good morning, welcome to day 3 of my Budapest adventure. If you haven't seen the previous days, then please do look at those videos first. Good sleep last night, a lot of change. There was I knew one girl was leaving, but I think maybe 3 or 4 girls have left and a new one arrived. So I woke up a couple of times, but still went back to sleep really easily. Just going for my morning walk, having a little look around, and now I'm heading back to the hostel to get some breakfast, which I promise I'm going to film today. Whilst in Budapest, I'm staying at the Avenue Hostel. There's a large reception area and you can ask the friendly staff for help or advice. If you forget your towel, no problem. You can buy or rent one at the reception, and you can also buy padlocks and toiletries, things like that. There's a really relaxed vibe, and yeah, it's beautifully decorated. The hostel puts on different activities and a free walking tour, and you can get a free dinner if you spend the equivalent of €4 at the bar. But one of the best things about this hostel is the free breakfast. There's a small salad selection, boiled eggs, cereals, milk, water, and a squash drink. There's loads of tables which are used for relaxation, or you could do some work on them during the day. On the other side, there's bread to toast with butter or jam, and some teas, and coffee. Okay, it's not the largest selection, and I did get quite bored of it by the end of the week, but I'm paying the equivalent of £10 per night, so having breakfast included is amazing. After breakfast, I hop in the shower, get ready, and set up my budget, something that I should have done on day 1. My budget for this trip is €40 per day, which, at this exact moment of time, is the equivalent of 16,330 Hungarian forint, and that includes my accommodation. I spent 16,700 on day 1, 14,000 on day 2, so overall I'm still under budget. So that was a pretty big breakfast. There's not a massive selection, but definitely you could fill up. I had 2 boiled eggs. They weren't the particularly best boiled eggs, but they were eggs, so that's fantastic that I got those. 2 massive slices of toast, went for strawberry jam, and I tried peach jam because I keep seeing peach in Budapest everywhere, or apricot, and it was very tasty. I really liked that. And then a little breakfast salad, I guess, tomato and cucumber. I think that's quite a Balkan thing to do because we have that quite a lot in Bulgaria. Yeah, a couple of teas, fruit teas, and I had a couple of espressos as well. Just making sure I don't get run over. So I decided, even though I walked loads yesterday and my foot's hurting quite a bit, I decided I want to learn a little bit more about the history that Robert was talking about, particularly to do with the Second World War. So I've actually booked to go on to a tour of the Jewish quarter, which I think will talk about the history, but also it's famous, that area, for the ruin bars. So probably a bit of a mix, maybe, I'm not really sure. So just heading to the meeting point now, which was Madak Square, near the Sissi statue, apparently. Oh, and I've already gone the wrong way. Too busy chatting. Anyway, I'm headed to the meeting point of the walking tour. See you there. And there she is, Cece.
I only just figured out a couple of months ago.
This is Andre, and he's going to be leading us on the tour.
Every tour I have, it's kind of like a safe space. So
like yesterday, I'll be pointing out a few locations, but you'll need to take Andre's tour to get all the info.
You probably would not ask to any other strangers in Budapest.
The Jewish quarter is now an arty neighbourhood. We're going to see plenty of art in this area. Andre points out a kolodko, which is a mini statue. They're hidden all over Budapest.
There is a photo with his bicycle in Bern.
Next on the tour is the Dohany Street Synagogue. It is the largest synagogue in Europe and seats 3,000 people. It used to be free, but now it costs 13,000 forint per adult. The outside was stunning, so I'm sure the inside would be beautiful too, and they do recommend you take out a tour for an additional cost.
I told you yesterday about
Our tour continues and there's plenty more art to see.
We are still in the ghetto. Soon I will show you a demarcation line.
These are stumbling stones. They're brass plates to commemorate people in the last place they freely choose to work, live or study. This plaque marks the edges of the ghetto during World War II. And we finish our tour at Rumbach Street Synagogue. Just finished the tour with Andre. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name now, but it was a really good tour. It's the Jewish quarter, so it's talking about the Holocaust and World War II. We went and had a look at a lot of the synagogues. He talked a lot about the history, how many people died or were deported, talked about the ghetto, loads and loads of stuff. I'm not very good with retaining information, so I'll need a little while to think about it, but I'll try and do some voiceovers. This afternoon I want to go to House of Terror Museum to continue learning about this horrific time. I did also want to talk about the actual area of the Jewish quarter. Like, it seems a really arty place. There's so many nice little cafes and restaurants, so I'm going to have a quick look around this area, see if I can find something to eat before going on to House of Terror. Ooh. Andre was a great guide. He clearly knows his stuff and you can tell he's genuinely interested in the history and continues to learn more. It was all fascinating when going in, but as I mentioned, I'm terrible at retaining information, so you'll just have to go on the tour yourself. I would highly recommend him though, and recommend going on a Jewish quarter tour. I wander the streets, checking out all the art and design. It just keeps coming. I came across a pedestrian street that was really cool. So many bright and retro style restaurants. And there was even an arcade. Oh, I love a restaurant with plants. Oh, and wood. Oh, that's beautiful. That's an escape room, this one. Okay, I'm going to head back through and see what else. I'd quite like to go to this restaurant, Frici, I think it's called. But this is a really nice area. I really like the arty vibe. Oh, there's a reclaimed vintage shop. I would like to have a look at the vintage and second-hand shops at some point, but not today. Can you hear that thunder? Oh, look at this! Wow! Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that chair. There is so much to look at. Nice. And there are tons of restaurants around, but I want to go to a particular restaurant, Frici. Frici is a traditional Hungarian restaurant serving, and I quote, Unique homemade flavours reminiscent of our grandmother's cooking, but with low prices and a friendly atmosphere. The menu is massive, and I can feel myself salivating at the descriptions of dishes. I first order a beer. Hello.
Would you like to drink something?
A drink's in here. At the back. I might have a beer actually. Do you have any Hungarian beers?
Yes. Sobroni from Hungary.
Okay, I'll have one of those. Can I have the large one?
Yes.
Thank you. And then I try and narrow down my main choice. Thank you, Köszönöm. Thank you. Finally, I decide.
Are you ready to order?
I think so, but I've got some questions. I think I want this chicken breast paprikash.
Yes.
But what is it exactly?
Chicken goulash with some sour cream, and usually we eat with noodles.
Okay.
Pasta dumplings from Hungary. It's
Okay.
homemade.
Okay, and that's typical Hungarian
Yes, typical,
food.
yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll go for this then, please. The noodles and the
chicken paprikash.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank you so much. Cheers. I go with the chicken paprikash and Nokedli egg pasta dumplings. This is a bit of a treat. I'm definitely going to go over my budget, I think, today. And after today, I definitely need to eat some more street food. I've seen some really cheap street food, a lot cheaper than going to the restaurants. And tomorrow, I'm going to have a bit of a kind of just wandering around and getting lost. There's this kind of competition, this kind of activity that you can do looking for these tiny little statues. They're all over the city. There's 27, I believe, that are in the main central part of the city. I thought that would be a great way to look for these items, to also explore the area. Just like today, I just came across that little arty retro street with all the restaurants, and I wouldn't have found that in this. I had got lost and just was kind of walking aimlessly. But today, let's have a very Hungarian dish, chicken paprikash with dumplings. Well, so just popped to the toilet and I've come back and I've got this enormous plate of food. Wow. Chicken paprikash with some noodles. Ooh. Okay, so these noodles, they look like spatzel. Ooh. Oh my gosh, this is really good. Oh, it's a really creamy sauce. Very succulent chicken. Melts in your mouth type. This is exactly my taste. It's like a creamy pasta with chicken. This is like, apart from bread, warm bread with butter, or bread with cheese, probably ham as well, or some kind of type of cooked meat, or salami, something like this. That's probably my number one, warm bread. But then second, it's got to be a kind of pasta with chicken, creamy pasta. I think I'm going to be having this again. Also, it's raining outside. It's gotten really cold. The clouds have come over. Couldn't believe it this morning. It was so sunny. It was perfect for the walking tour. And then right at the end of the walking tour, it just started raining. So this warm, filling, you know, it's similar to like the soup, the goulash or the stew. It's just something perfect for the whole day. especially when you've been outside walking for ages. Okay, I'm doing well. Only that much left. So not too bad. I'll definitely finish it. I'm going to be stuffed. But I had a look at the menu and I really like the look of the dessert. And I've got some massive sweet tooth. I love cup desserts. Problem is, I'm always too stuffed after dinner to be able to fit one in. But I don't know why I don't think about this more often. I saw on the back of the page how much it costs to get a takeaway box, which was 25 cents or I guess 100 Hungarian forint. I thought I'm going to get a takeaway dessert and then have it for dinner tonight, because I don't know if you noticed, I've been having the free breakfast at the hostel quite early, like 7 o'clock when it starts. Then I've been having like lunch around 2 o'clock-ish, massive lunch. And then yesterday I didn't actually eat anything later, because by the time I'd finished doing everything I was planning to do, I was so tired that I then went back to the hostel, just worked on the laptop and went to bed. And I really was quite hungry. But if I get the takeaway pudding, then I'll be able to have something tonight if I fancy, or just leave it in the fridge, because I've got a fridge at the hostel. And the thing that I want to get is, let me find it. It's got a little Hungarian flag next to it. It is the pancake, and I like the sound of the one pancake with cottage cheese and vanilla sauce. That just sounds too weird to not try cottage cheese in a pancake. It must be done. So I'm going to get one. Okay, surprise, surprise, I'm totally stuffed. Nothing new there. But I did order that pancake. And you could say that maybe I'm just being greedy, or you could say that I'm thinking ahead. I know I'm going to be hungry later. Look at that. If there's a pancake in there, it's literally drowning in vanilla sauce. I'm so glad I ordered it to go. I definitely recommend this place. There's these beautiful murals on the wall, these funny comments. I think that's funny anyway, I'll have to ask. They're certainly funny when you translate them. The food was really good and the service was just impeccable. Anyway, I'm going to pay and then go back to the hostel. I'm going to charge the camera, I'm going to close my eyes for 20 minutes. You know what it's like, especially after a beer, a full pint or half a litre, and then go to the House of Terror Museum to kind of finish this learning about Budapest's quite dark history. Okay, so the bill came to 7,000 something, and that includes service. So it's interesting that all of the restaurants that I've been to so far already includes a service, which, yeah, that's really interesting, I find, because I was thinking that this place didn't include service, and therefore that's maybe why they were being so nice, because they wanted the service. But even when I left, they were just so, oh, thank you, hope to see you again. You know, I definitely recommend that place. Might go back there again. They did have baked camembert with blueberry sauce, which is like, oh, I know I was just talking about favourite food, but that cheese and blueberry is just what a magic combination that you could not eat every day. But yeah, definitely recommend that place. Super nice. Really lovely stuff. Go and spend your money there. Frici. Oh god, I forgot to ask how to pronounce it. So I'm now at the House of Terror. I'm going to have to shout this one because of the traffic. I'm now at the House of Terror Museum, and I don't believe that I can film inside, which is a real shame, but you just have to come yourself. But this is the building, and it's got this incredible design where if it was sunny, and I'll try and come back when it's sunny, the sun will shine through this terror written above, and it then casts this shadow onto the building, which is so iconic, I think. There's some signs outside, and there's some photographs of, I believe, the people who died here, who may have been tortured here. So I'm going to film that, and if I can film anything from inside, then I will.
No video, please, inside.
They were pretty quick to tell me to stop filming. There were staff walking up and down the exhibition, so there was no way to get a sneaky shot or two in. but I will show you the signs outside. The House of Terror is a museum that explores the history of Hungary between 1944 and 1990, during the Nazi and then later Soviet Union influence and control. The building once served as the headquarters of the fascist Arrow Cross Party during the Second World War and later became the headquarters of the Communist State Security Authority. There are 3 floors and many rooms to explore inside, some set up for the purpose they originally had in the building. There are many items on display, and personal testimonies are shown on screens throughout. They are in Hungarian, but many of them have English subtitles. The final part of the museum is the basement, left exactly as it was when it was used to interrogate, torture, and murder the victims. And there were many, many victims over this period. It's truly an emotional experience, which it's designed to be. But I would definitely recommend it. Okay, I just came out of the House of Terror Museum and it's really dark. I mean, yeah, the light's going down, but I mean inside it's a lot of the things that you have to think about when you go through there. It's dark, it's depressing, and it's true, it actually happened. These things happened and it's difficult to think about that. How can humans do that to other humans? But it's important, I think, to go to places like this and be regularly reminded, even if you've gone to one museum about Second World War, for example, doesn't mean that you shouldn't go to other museums, you know, in other places, in other countries, and hear what happened in that country. It costs 4,000 forint to get into as an adult ticket price. There are audio guides available which are 2,000 forint. I recommend getting one of those because most of the information written on the walls is in Hungarian. There's a few phones that you listen to, some different things, that's all in Hungarian. There's different languages for the audio tour, so have a look on the website. There's also A4 pieces of paper which have information written on them pretty much in every room, so that's good if you didn't have the audio tour, but I definitely recommend it, unless you can't afford it, in which case I'd say go anyway and just read the information that's on the paper. I was in there for about 2.5 hours. I just got kicked out because the museum closed at 6. I do love, especially if it's something that I'm interested in like this, I do love to look at every single thing. I think if you're the type that's quite quick to go around something like that, yeah, maybe 2 hours. Expect maybe an hour and a half even. If you love to look at everything and read everything and hear everything, especially if you understand Hungarian, I would say maybe 4 hours you could easily spend in there. But that's all dependent on the person, isn't it? I'm really glad I went, and yeah, a lot to think about, and I quite enjoy, well, I don't enjoy it, I guess, but I, you know, find it important for me to think about things like this after, because it makes me think about the person that I am and the person that I want to be, and the things that I stand for. So I'm glad that I went. I understand it a little bit more. It is depressing, there's no getting around that. I shed a few tears at points, but yeah, glad that I went. Okay, I think I'm going to go back to the hostel now, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do actually. I think I need a bit of time to process that. And I do have my pancake, of course, so I'm sure that will help me get back to a more stable frame of mind, maybe. Yeah, okay. And that was the end of day 3. In total, I spent 21,315 forint, definitely over my €40 budget today. Whoops. My favourite memory was finally visiting the House of Terror Museum, although it was almost a tie with that chicken paprikash. Yum. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please do like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and don't forget to see, do, feel.